If you guys are looking to get some FIFA coins to improve your team and smash through Weekend League, check out U4GM FIFA 23 coins and you can use code RECALL for 5% off at checkout. Make sure to go check out the sponsor, guys, but let's get into the video. So guys, we're going to get right into it. Today we are focusing on bidding methods. So we've got Unsoki, Dina MB and Nagumu, who have all came from my last video. So all of them got bidded up. We've got him for 650. You can never actually buy him for that little. We're going to pop him up for 900 and that one should go quite easily. Once again, popping this one up for 900. The next guy, we're going to pop him up for a K, and that's just based off, I know kind of these guys' prices because this is a method that I do a little bit. So with the bidding methods, they are a lot better than a standard sniping filter in the sense that you don't have to beat people in speed, you just have to beat people in knowledge of the cards. So obviously that is from the Bundesliga filter. Now already one of them has sold on. Who's sold on so far? So Dina Abimi has already sold on. Now I could probably have squeezed some more coins out of him being that he sold on instantly. So that kind of shows how well these filters work. Now moving on, you've obviously seen the Bundesliga one that we've looked at before, but moving on to another building filter we can make a lot of coins out of. If you go Silver, Rare, French and Premier League, you find yourself with Diallo, Biancone, I believe there is another player. It might just be these boys here. So you've got Diallo, Biancone. I'm sure there is another guy here, but besides the point, obviously, if we go to the max price of, let's first of all see how much they're selling for instantly. So 2K, you can find both of them quite low. So that means we can definitely get them even lower. So 650, nothing there. 800, you've got a couple of them on at 800, but not a lot. So I'd say if you were sniping, you'd probably snipe at maybe 700 coins, try and get them sold on for 900. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the max price on the basis of what they're selling for to 600 coins. Now, I would say you want to bid all of these up to about 500. So the reason is because they're not going to go for the minimum, and people will simply bid you up if you go on the minimum. But a 500 to 600 bid is much more likely to go through. If you saw the ones that I'd got from the previous video, they all had a little bit of a higher bid than their minimum. So I'd gone on and done it like this. The reason is because if you just go and bid the minimum, someone else will outbid you. That simply isn't going to go. You know, there's some insane snipes that have happened in FIFA history. The one I can think of mostly is there's a guy who got like a Lewandowski, like a special Lewandowski a few years ago for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands lower than he should have. But the point being that he bidded it up to a point that was about 100,000 away from his price, got it, and then made 100K. He couldn't have just gone on the minimum and done that because it just wouldn't work, because people will obviously see it and bid you up. So we've got every single one that has anything near the 500-600 mark. So we're going to move on to the next filter, and similarly we're going to move over to this Serie A, and we're going to go over to Italian players, so they're native players there. So obviously we've put the max price as 600, the time's going to come up, so you have to do the max buy now and see how much these bad boys are going for. So there's a few too many of them at the minimum, which means this filter wouldn't be as useful. So then we can scroll along and go for maybe League One, and if we go for French, and see what these guys are looking like. So once again, that one doesn't make sense. So not only am I showing you guys filters we can use, but I'm showing you guys how you can find filters. So Liga Santander French, once again, not looking like it's going to make sense. So we'll move back over to the Premier League and we'll have a look at the other nations in the Prem. So let's first of all go to Brazil, and I think we've got a couple players in Brazil, or it might just be Marquinhos, so he won't work. Obviously that's just sniping a singular player. Now in theory, if we go on Marquinhos, how much does he go for? Let's just have a look at the idea of some bids on him. So he doesn't go for too much, so let's bid up this guy. 1.4k. So I'd say you could sell him on for 1.6. We want to bid, I'd say a K. I'd say a K would be a bidding price for this one. So we're going to bid all of these up to 950. I think that seems reasonable. Let's have a look. 950 and 950. We won't. I feel like this one's going to be okay. No, that's not too long. 950. Right. So we're going to move on to the next filter and finding another one. It is just as simple. Sometimes you just have to search for these things. With this specifically, you can obviously also go to clubs. If you go to City, I think they've only got the likes of one player, so they've got Palmer and Sergio Gomez. So this actually isn't a bad one. I think there's another player in there as well. So if we go for the buy nows, it doesn't look like there's many under a K. Let's have a look. 850. Okay, so that's a good point. That Palmer's probably a snipe. Anything 750 here we will take as a, right, oh, Because if you have a look at all the other Palmers, they're going for 800, 850, 900. We can easily push a 900 out of him. Someone will buy him. You'll get a lot of lazy buys and things like this, especially with your bidding filters. You will get a ton of people just buying lazily, which actually really helps. So definitely not something to worry about. What we're going to do is we're going to put the max price to, for this one, I'll say 650 because you've got a couple players here. We'll bid him up to 550, bid him up to 550. We'll bid him up to 550. So we'll just bid across all of these up to 550. So far, just to give you a recap of the filters that I would recommend using, we've got Man City, we've got Silver Rare, we've got French Prem Silver Rare, you've got Bundesliga French Silver Rare, and you can try Brazilian, but obviously Brazilian is just going to bring you the likes on the Premier League side of the one player. We'll try and bid up as many of these as possible, because the more coins you have, if you have 100k and you can put it into these, if you can just win half of them, you'll double your coins. So you're good to go with that. Okay, he's already bidded. Some of these will already obviously have bids. We can leave them ones. So moving on, we've got this one here, Silver Rare, Republic of Ireland and Premier League. We're going to pop this up. Let's see, have a look. Definitely not 15 mil. We're going to see what the cheapest we can get one of these bad boys for is. I think nothing there. Is there something at 800? We've got a couple at 800. That's good. It means we can probably bid these on for about 550. There was a 650 there. So you want to sell these for about 800, I'd say. It's probably the mark. 900 would be nice, but I don't think that one's realistic. Let's put that on. So that we'll go 850. We'll see what we can get. If not, it'll be 800. And then we want to bid. So if we go to 450, yeah, 450 is probably fair. We'll bid all of them up to 500. And we'll try and get as many as possible. With this one, I think you're a lot more likely to get the card, and it will just take you a little bit more time to bid up every page. But if you can get a ton of them, obviously what I would say is if you get like 3 or 4 pages, don't list them all at once. List like 2 pages at a time max, maybe even 1, just because you might lower the market value if you list too many of them to try and undercut people. Let's have a look. So I'm just trying to, what is the cheapest we can possibly get one for them? Buy right now. Can we get one at 650? So there's one at 650. So guaranteed a sale at 700. Realistic 850 is also going to be quite easy. Let's have a look. Go across again, see what we don't have bidded on. I think with this one, you're definitely going to get a ton. I don't think many people are going to be competing with you this one. So this one is definitely an easy win, especially Nation Northern Ireland. I feel like not many people really try this out. So it's definitely one that is a little bit of untapped gold. But if you are new around here, of course, make sure to subscribe if you've enjoyed the content as well. Check out the YouTube, TikTok. But without further ado, I'll see you tomorrow.